Hello, my name is Richard. I go by Ultra by Rich, and this is Ultra by Rich Meta Ads. In this session, we're going to be talking about how to create a campaign and target iOS users only. So if they have an iPhone, an iPad, any kind of Apple device. And this will also exclude anybody with an Android device or other device, Windows Phone, etc. BlackBerry, who knows? They're still out there, right? So this campaign's great on a larger scale advertising play. So if you have a service or product that's nationwide, this is a better fit for you. If you're using our local search tactics in the 15 to 25 mile radius, unless you're in, one of the top 10 biggest populations in the United States, it's not the best fit for you. So we definitely recommend making sure you have a larger budget and larger audience to do this tactic. It's more of an advanced feature per se, but nonetheless, it's also a great one to really get your message out to a specific user base. And it allows you to categorize your end base. Do they have an iPhone? Do they have an Android? Does that matter to you? Does it matter to your signups? And this allows you to test that. So let's jump right in. First things first, you're going to go over to your campaigns page, hit the green create button. And like I said, we're going to be doing leads. Again, if you had an e-commerce, you could be doing landing pages for products. In our case, most of our stuff is leads. We're going to name the campaign. Give it a good date for tomorrow. And give it the client name, which is going to be Ultra by Rich. And it's going to be leads form. We're going to take that name. We're going to put it into ad set and add. And then we'll rename those at a later moment. So to recap, we've got auction, leads, and then 3 names, exact same. Hit continue. It's going to ask you to do tailored or manual. We definitely want to do manual. We have more settings to change. Now, real quick, I wanted to mention to you our done for you Facebook ads. There's a link in the description for a free one-on-one session where we actually go through your business and talk about how we can optimize and build out your campaigns. It's free to do. Definitely recommend it. Let's get back to it. Okay, once you're here, this is the campaign edit page. So you can change the name if you need to make any last minute changes. We have a special ad categories. If you're in these ad categories, definitely make sure to check my other video on that. Most likely you're not, but if you are, there's some special cases you need to be aware of. As you know, we just selected auction and leads, and we're not doing any limit on this campaign. We're not going to be doing an A, B, and test, and we're not going to be using the Advantage campaign budget. So you can go ahead and hit next. All right. This is one we're going to rename. We're going to do Cold USA Everyone. And we're going to be using forms for the lead generation. And specify your page. And we are specifying the maximum number of leads. We are not doing a cost per result goal on this one. And these two are non-changeable. They're grayed out. You have to leave them. Leave the dynamic creative to off. We are not using a catalog. We're going to start with the daily budget of $100. And we're going to start tomorrow at midnight. And have a whole section on why we start at midnight for the next day. Great video to take a look at if you're interested. Okay. You'll also notice we are running multi-time, grayed out. We're going to come down to audience, and we're going to switch to the original audience options. So go to the second audience section and hit switch. Once you switch, you can scroll back down. We're going to change locations. This is going to be fun. From United States to include cities only. And we're going to include cities with population 250,000 or more. And so we have 84 cities that we're targeting across the US for a total of 62 million right now. And then we're going to change our age, 25, 64. We're going to leave our gender open, our targeting open. We're going to specify our language. Have a great video on language and age. Definitely worth exploring if you're curious as to why we do this. And then we're going to do show more options. And in one of our other videos, we actually talk about inventory filter. So check that one out. But in this case, we're actually going to change this from advantage platform to manual. So hit manual. And now we are manual placements. And if you scroll down, I need you to uncheck apps and sites and search results and in-stream ads. We only want to use stories, reels, and feeds. And this is assuming your creative is more vertical and you've got some pretty good copy as well, make sure. But that is it as far as for the more options. This is where we're going to be targeting the Apple user only. And so you'll notice first thing you have is all mobile devices is the default option. This is where you come in here and actually hit iOS, and this will enable you to target iPads, iPhones, and iPods. Now, you can get more granular here and remove or add and change version numbers. But with this exclusion already, you can see we went from over 60 to under 27. So you're losing market share quickly. Now you could assume you want to do a on the phone, on the go. You could do iPhone, take out iPads, and then you see how it says only when connected to Wi-Fi. We leave that off. And so now we're down to about 22 million. But here's a great example of getting the audience set up, tuned in for the entire US, but now we're targeting iOS devices only and more explicitly iPhones. And then, we can add them all back, of course, iPads and iPods. All right. After that, just hit next. This is where you're going to set up your ad. So make sure you have your artwork and your video ready. We just got some filler image in there, and we'll just use some filler text for now. We have a whole video on how to set up your primary text, headline, and description for maximum conversion. Definitely worth exploring. And then this is where you're selecting your form. We have a whole video series on how to create your form and the different form types. Lots to learn there. But we've already got one built, so we'll have that selected. And we're going to turn on website events for Ultra by Rich. And then at this point, we're ready to publish. So campaign's pretty easy to set up. A lot of little settings you need to add to get the iOS device option selected. But at that point, you're targeting everybody in major cities with iPhone devices. And then you can start ruling out if that group of audience converts higher for you, and then do the same thing for Android. I have a different video on how to do it for Android. Thank you for watching this clip. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a comment, drop a like, and make sure you subscribe.